Welcome, my sisters and brothers, to the Law of One, conscious channeling of LL Research. I am Robert, and it is my honor to bring you another wonderful channeling session. Sunday Meditation, August 10th, 1986. The information then is just as now pertinent now as it ever will be. I am Hatonn, and I greet you, my friends, in the love and in the light of our infinite Creator. We are most honored to be asked to join your group this evening. Your seeking and desire to know the nature of your movement into unity with the one Creator is that which has drawn us to you this evening. We are privileged to be able to join you, for in sharing our humble experiences with you, do we also progress upon the same path which you tread. As we speak to you this evening, please be aware that we offer opinions and our experiences, which are those of brothers and sisters who are like you, valuable and yet who desire to serve. Take that which has meaning for you and leave that which does not ring true without the backward glance. We do not wish to place any stumbling block upon your path. This evening we have observed the questions and comments concerning the path of the seeker which attempts to serve others and to radiate the love of the one Creator to those about it. We have observed that in your discussion and in your concerns, there is the noting of these instances in the experience of any seeker which seems of a negative nature and which seems to provide obstacles, difficulties, and deterrence to the continuation of the positive seeking. We might add our comments to those which we have listened to this evening. For each seeker that sets out upon the journey of consciously determining that which is useful and that which is not, for the pursuing of this journey is one which shall experience a wondrous adventure. The desire to know the nature of the creation in which you find yourselves, and the desire to know the nature of the life force which makes you what you are and which propels you through this creation is that desire which you shall draw upon constantly as you make your journey day by day and moment by moment. This desire, then, is the central force through which you find your movement made possible. As you observe the events within your life pattern unfolding, you will discover that some seem more helpful than others. This is due to the nature which is unique to you. You have the previous incarnational experiences brought with you into this experience. A collection of abilities, attitudes, and interests which you have carefully gathered as those of significance through previous experience. These then are that with which you began this incarnation, and that which is your garden, shall we say, into which the seeds of your desire are sown and are grown according to the purity of the intentions that you focus this desire through. Thus you draw unto yourselves those experiences which shall provide you with the opportunities that you seek. These opportunities provide you the laboratory, shall we say, in which the lessons that you have designed for yourself may be attempted. The opportunities that form the fabric of your daily existence are of a variety of kinds, each colored by your desire to know more and more of the nature of yourself, the creation about you, and your movement through it. Each experience then provides what we might call a holographic miniature in which If the intention and attention is focused finely enough, one can see the entire pattern of the incarnation unfolding within one's response to any situation. As you note, your own spontaneous and unrehearsed responses to those events in your daily round of activities, you will begin to note the various biases and attitudes with which you are currently armed, shall we say, for want of a better term. These attitudes and biases then form the beginning of your understanding of yourself. If you are able, in the quiet moments of your daily round of activities, to contemplate and meditate upon the manner in which you respond to those events placed before you, you begin to see a picture not only of your current being as you manifest it in this incarnation, but also the potential which your attitudes and biases call to you. Thus, if one can look at the honest and unreserved responses that become the pattern or nature of one's current being, one may, without judgment, then work with each in order that each might find its natural balance, and the experience then becomes broadening so that the point of viewing expands. What was once of a narrow focus, with the contemplative and meditative attention, begins to expand its boundaries as various attitudes and perceptions find a wider frame of reference within one's being. For example, if one discovers within the being an anger or frustration, shall we say, that surfaces when one is unable to make its mark upon the world and the events in it in a fashion that is of one's own design, then one may see that there is a bias of frustration and disharmony that emanates frequently as a portion of the being when the events of the world do not fall in such and such a fashion. One might note other facets of being, such as impatience and the desire to control people and events, as being corollaries to the basic anger and frustration. If one is able to look without emotion and judgment upon this basic bias or distortion of anger and its corollary attributes, one may begin to discover the potential that is shut up within one's being by the presence of that known as anger. It may be, for example, that an entity wishes to learn more of compassion, more of acceptance, and more of forgiveness, and wishes to place these concepts more firmly within the true self, that which you may call the soul. This may be done by programming the seeming opposite attribute within the incarnation in order to provide opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, one upon the other, for the self to experience the lack of love, the lack of forgiveness, the lack of acceptance. And these are terms which describe that which you call anger, frustration, control, and so forth. Thus, by finding these attributes within the incarnational pattern, one may, through conscious and non-judgmental study of the self, become aware that in each release of anger there is the potential to accept, to love, to show mercy, and to have patience. As this becomes apparent, one then notes with more and more frequency and accuracy those moments in which the lesson is being offered. And as one is able to be more aware of the root or primary cause and potential setup by the expression of anger, then one is able to take advantage, shall we say, of that opportunity, and in a fashion to transmute or transform the situation in which anger might normally be generated, and instead generate the loving acceptance which was the original intention and which was achieved by constructing the basic personality to respond in a manner called angry or frustrated. This is one common and simple example of how the lessons of an incarnation may be set up or provided for before the incarnation by utilizing the full range of what you call human emotions, so that these emotions then become a connecting link, connecting the level of understanding which has been achieved in previous incarnations to the potential which now awaits each entity. Thus, within the incarnational pattern, one may discover that within even the darkest and most dimly lit moments of one's experience, great treasures potentially await. It is often easy for the conscious seeker of truth to look upon those times that are full of joy, peace, and new learning as those times in which the greatest growth within the soul occurs. However, we would suggest that the moments of seeming difficulty and trauma not be overlooked. For it is within such moments that one's fiber of being is truly tested and given the greatest of opportunities to expand in its scope and strength. The moments of difficulty and disharmony, then, are those moments in which the spiritual strength, to use a general term, of an entity may receive the opportunity for further strengthening. This is also true of those moments in which one feels that there might be negative, as you would call them, influences moving in one's life patterns and providing obstacles that make further progress difficult. If one can see such situations as analogous to simply placing more weights upon the bar, which then can be lifted with that strength which each has to lift, then there is greater chance or opportunity for one's spiritual strength to be enhanced as one looks at difficulties not as that to be denied, but as that to be welcomed in joy, as a more intensive opportunity to progress at even a quicker pace. At this time, we would desire to complete our contact. Again, we thank each present for requesting our humble service, and we look forward to future, as you would call them, gatherings of this group, in which we may be honored once again to offer our thoughts upon the journey which we share with you. We are known to you as those of Hatonn. We shall leave you at this time in the love and in the light of the one infinite Creator. Adonai, my friends, Adonai.